Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast, your daily dose of strategies, insights, and action steps to grow your business and build your freedom. It's time to stop playing small and start making power plays.
Well, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play Podcast. Today's episode is for the control freaks, the overthinkers, and the perfectionists in recovery. And yes, I'm including myself. So we're talking about one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn in both business and in life, and that is let go of the hose. So I'm Valerie Walton, co-founder of The Profitpreneur, multiple six-figure business owner and former top network marketing leader turned full-time entrepreneur, mentor, and trainer. So I went from absolutely nothing to hitting 5 figures a month in just 5 months during a pandemic, all during a pandemic. So I can tell you firsthand, okay, because this is not just I had a 5-figure month, because I had that long before the pandemic. I'm talking about consistency. I'm talking about legacy. I'm talking about, doing the things that help keep your household running, right? And so when you have such a big focus like that, such a big goal like that, such a big responsibility, I should say, that when you're gripping everything so tight, right? Everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be like this. When you're trying to force results, that you actually block the flow of what you've been asking for. So if you've been doing all the right things, but still not seeing the breakthrough, then this episode is your reminder. Okay. It's not about doing more. It's about letting go so that what's meant to you can finally flow to you. So we about to jump all up in this. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Let me paint a picture real quick. Okay. Imagine you're out in the yard, you're watering your plants. The hose is on full blast, water's flowing beautifully. And then you decide you're going to squeeze it. You're going to squeeze the hose, bend the hose, even step on the hose. Okay. And suddenly nothing comes out. It's not because the water stopped, but because you are literally blocking the flow. I'm letting that sink in for a second. Because that, my friend, is what a lot of us do with our success and our abundance. We are the ones putting that bend, that kink in the hose. So let's talk about this problem, this stress or this fear or this paranoia that we go through at times, right? So we get stressed. All of us do. We overthink. We get paranoid and we're like, what if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if they laugh at me? I'm looking like a damn fool out here in front of all these people. Child, what am I going to do? What if I'm not good enough? That's you putting your thumb on the hose and squeezing. That's you strangling the very flow that's trying to come to you. And I've done it too. Okay. So, when this happens, right? Because let's think about it. Whether you believe in God, you believe in Jesus Christ, you believe in the universe, whatever it is, Allah, look, I'm cool with that. Okay. So I just want you to think about the fact that generally speaking, this higher power that you believe in is never against you. Never against you. This energy, this force, this source, this higher power is looking to love you, is looking to give to you, is generous and abundant in and of itself to the point that it's so abundant, right? And for me, I believe in the Lord. He is so abundant that you just can't even contain it all. He's overflowing with abundance, which means it's going to just overflow into you. That water from that hose is attached to, it is on full blast all the time because he never sleeps. So it's got to be something. And that is why you see so many times, only believe. That is why you see so many times, do not be afraid. That is why you see so many times, do not worry. What's the point of worrying? Jesus said, right? What you doing that for? It ain't adding no inches to your stature, right? He said that. I didn't say that. You don't like that? Take it up with him. I ain't say it. Okay. But when you think about those things, that should mean, just logically speaking, if you shouldn't worry, if you shouldn't be afraid, then why are we sitting there overthinking about all the negative stuff and surprised that we ain't getting what we want? You surprised you're not getting water when you pinching the hose? Why? Okay. So I remember squeezing that hose tight, bro. I was squeezing this hose so hard. This was ridiculous. So there are times where, we needed to make sure that we could pay the rent and pay the bills. And so I'm trying to launch something. I'm trying to reach out to some clients and customers. I'm trying to make offers, all this stuff. And, people accept the offer. I'm like, yes, we did it. We got it. And, but then I'm constantly checking. Okay, y'all pay us yet? Let me check that Stripe again. How that Zelle doing? Where the Venmo? How's the PayPal? Like, I'm checking. Almost afraid that people just told me what I wanted to hear, but they weren't actually going to follow through. That is me strangling the hose. There have been times that I know I put my whole foot in something that I created, in a course, in a project, something that I know is going to benefit you, and you know it too. So I choose to have things go on pre-order and stuff like that. But then I worry. Oh my gosh, I did all this work, but what if don't nobody buy it? What if nobody likes it? What if nobody's listening to me? I'm pinching the hose again. Okay. So it is something that we all do. And the crazy part is, the flow was always there for me, and it always is for you. I was just in my own way. And maybe you are too. So now, y'all know me. I got to put my little my hat on for metaphysics, right? So let's talk about the science and the energy behind it. So here's what's wild. Okay. Science actually backs this up, right? When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, and cortisol will shut down the parts of your brain that handle creativity and problem solving, and solution seeking and big picture thinking, the exact things that you need for success. And energetically, fear is a magnet. So whatever you obsess over, you attract more of. Where focus flows, what is it? Where focus flows, energy goes. Oh my God. Sorry, Tony Robbins, child. I done screwed it up. But anyway, if you're focused on lack and stress and fear, you are literally inviting more lack, stress, and fear to show up. So here's the thing about me, because I take my faith and my beliefs very seriously. And I don't need to be the person that goes around bragging about it or trying to convince you, I got faith. I believe in the Lord. I'm a Christian. I'm this. I'm that. You should see it. You should see it in me. You should see the very fruits that the Lord said I was going to have if I just trust in him. You should see the peace beyond all understanding in me. So that even time, look, just the other day, y'all saw me on a live. I was crying because I was going through it. But I also knew, even in that moment, and I said it in the live, this ain't going to last. These are moments that we have. I understand it happens because I'm human, but I knew that I was going to get through. I knew that I was going to overcome. And as a person who has certain beliefs that are totally different from what the world looks at and what the world focuses on, what you're doing as you change your beliefs is you are creating your own bubble. And I know people make fun of that. Oh, you just live in a bubble. You live under a rock, child. You don't know what's really going on out in these streets. Good. I don't want to know. Because it ain't got nothing to do with me, because that's not where my beliefs go. Hello. Okay. So based on my beliefs, this bubble to me is an all-encompassing shield of protection that the Lord gives me. And that's the point. That's the point. That's how he designed it. That's why you're in the world, but you're not of the world. You're not about this life. These people crazy out here. That's on them. Forgive them. They know not what they're doing. Okay. But you know what you're doing. So you focus on that. And because of that, lack may exist in the world, but it doesn't exist for you if you choose to believe that. Take your hand off the hose and let abundance flow instead of looking around at everybody else having lack. That's them. That's not you. You in your bubble. I hope. What you stressing out for? When you know, even when negative things happen to you, God will take it and make it for your good. What you stressing over then? And I'm not just saying it to you, I'm saying it to me too. What you stressing for? Like I said, past few days, I have been going through it. But I also have to remember at the end of the day, I know who's in control and I know who loves me. And I know I'm going to make this out. I'm going to make it out of this in a healthy way that's going to benefit me. So what am I fearing? Who should I fear? The hell y'all talking about, child? That's crazy. I ain't fearing that. I don't like, people are afraid of certain things going on in the world and all. I don't have that level of fear. Do I see it going on? Yeah. Do I have anything to say about it? No, because if I start talking about it, that puts energy into it. I don't want that in my life, so I don't talk about it. And yes, I act like it doesn't exist for me because it doesn't. I choose for it not to affect me. So I'll give you another story, okay, that can really help like click in terms of the science and the energy behind all this, right? So I had a season where I was scared about money. Every day I would wake up thinking about the bill, especially when we first moved out here. And I know my husband's got my back and I got his back and all that good stuff. But child, look, okay, I was scared about the money. So every day I would wake up thinking about bills instead of blessings. And you know what happened? Money slowed down even more. Stuff that I ain't never even thought could happen started happening. Just disaster after disaster. It's like, oh, you walking down the street, you see the car blow up, you like, oh damn, that's crazy. And then you keep walking, then the trash can catches fire, and you're like, dang, that's crazy. And then everything just combustible, and you're like, oh my God, what is that? Like, it felt like that. It was feeling like that. So it wasn't until I started to shift my focus and I started acting like abundance was already here that opportunities then began popping up out of nowhere. It felt like nowhere. But again, I had to shift my focus off the problem and onto my source. I had to remember that God is bigger than my problems. Insert whatever higher power you believe in there, okay? But whatever it is you believe in, it's bigger than your problems, okay? I had to shift my focus to, well, ain't Jesus the name above all names, including the name of my bill, including the gas bill. The name of that NV energy that we gotta pay. Jesus's name is above that. This sickness the doctor told me that I may have, and they got to do further testing. Jesus's name is above that. Whatever it is, it's above cancer. It's above sickle cell anemia. It's above all. So what am I freaking out over? But if you don't shift your focus to that, you can't help but fall into the trap of the lies that go on in this world on a daily. And God is not expecting you to do all of this on your own. He's not expecting you to shift the focus on your willpower. It's on his willpower. That's what we're supposed to be focused on. And that's why I'm telling you, when I started to shift my focus onto that, instead of looking at me, woe is me, we got all these problems. Why this happened to us? Why this stuff popping up? No. When I shifted my focus, opportunities showed up because I let go of the hose and I started to trust that God knows what he's doing. And even when there's an enemy element that kicks in, he done already won the battle. Why am I tripping? There's no need to. So not only did the opportunities show up, but you got to remember, it's the same me. It's the same work I was doing. It's just that now the hose was unclogged. See? All right. Now let's go into the shift. Okay. How do we let go of the hose? What do we do? What do we do exactly? So letting go doesn't mean that you stop working. It means that you stop strangling the process. It means that you trust fully that you have turned on the faucet, right? If you've done the work, if you trust that what you do yields certain results, then the flow is already on its way. So instead of practicing paranoia, practice presence. Okay, so try this. Ask yourself, what's the next aligned step I can take right now? You build confidence. Take right now. Also, remind yourself, instead of leaning into stress, lean into strategy. Knowing that 1 + 1 is always 2. So if you did X result, knowing that if you did X work, knowing you get Y result, be expectant of that result. Here's another thing you can do. Focus on the things that are actually in your control and then release the rest, right? It is in your control to be able to create that product or to become an affiliate of that offer or what have you. That's within your control. It's not in your control who's going to see your offer, when they see it, how they see it, why they see it, right? You have some level of influence over that, right? If you study algorithm, if you build your skill of communication and do better in your copywriting and better in your speech and better in your conversation, all that, yeah, that's a part of your control. But the rest of it, in the entire world, the 8 billion people around, and who's going to see what, when, where, why, when they're going to decide to buy, when it's going to finally click for them to this time, you don't have any control over that. Rest. Release all that. That part ain't got nothing to do with you. Just have the confidence in knowing I did what I knew I needed to do. I know I did the right thing. I know I'm making the right moves. I can't help but become successful. I may not see it now. It's on the way. Just like when you first turn on the hose, depending on how long the hose is, you don't see the water come out the second you turn on the faucet or the spigot for us Southerners, right? Right? The minute you turn it on, you don't necessarily see it. It takes a minute to flow through and then it comes out, but you got to trust that it's flowing through. Okay. So I'll give you a story about this part, right? How do you let it flow? So, when Sonny and I decided to move my mom across the country and into her dream luxury apartment out here in Vegas, we had no damn clue how that was going to come together, child. We set a goal. We wanted to do it. We knew a certain time we wanted to do it, but we didn't know what the details were going to look like. And that's not our job. That's God's job. But we kept taking the right next step. We just looked at what was right in front of us and took that step. And some days it felt slow. Some days it felt uncertain, but we kept the hose open. Sometimes we needed to pray together. Sometimes we needed to, I needed to be in one place and he needed to be in another place. Sometimes he needed to do his tech part while I did my marketing part, right? Because y'all know I'm good at talking. Look at us. We're 22 minutes in. I'm about to wrap up though. Okay. And then 13 months later, 9 months ahead of schedule, she was unpacking, right? We were helping her unpack in her luxury place in Vegas, right? My husband had flown out a whole day away from me that I just couldn't take. And then flew back with her. So she had a flying companion. She didn't have to carry her bags. He had her back. She was being taken care of. And then we helped unpack. Now that's what letting go looks like in real life. You do what you can do, and then you trust the process. All right. Now I'm going to give you a quick framework, 3 steps. Hopefully I can also, we can also make sure that this is in the chat. But the 3-step framework that you can use anytime you feel like you're tensing up and squeezing the hose. Okay. Number 1, notice. Catch yourself in the moment and ask yourself, ooh, am I gripping the hose? Number 2, loosen. Okay. So take a deep breath, unclench, and remind yourself that the flow is already happening. Step 3, redirect. Put that energy, whatever that nervous energy or that fearful energy is, put it into just one small, light, aligned action. Something that makes you feel like you're keeping the water moving instead of blocking it. That's how you stay open to receiving. Okay. So here is my challenge for you this week. Anytime you catch yourself stressing about money, business, or relationships, stop and ask yourself, am I gripping the hose or letting it flow? Because abundance is always flowing, just like oxygen, child. You ever say that? Do you ever say, oh no, I don't know if we're going to run out of oxygen later today. I don't know if next week I ain't going to have no oxygen. You don't never be thinking about oxygen, do you? Right? So in the same way, think about abundance that way. Because it's true. Abundance is always flowing. It never stops. The only question is whether you're open to receive it. So remember, success doesn't come from squeezing harder, working harder, trying harder. It comes from opening up wider, really taking a step back, having a bigger perspective on things and shifting focus. Okay. So let go of the hose. The flow is already there, and your only job is to stop blocking it. Simple as that. Okay. So when you let go of the hose, you stop restricting the very thing that was designed to bless you. Flow comes when you trust the process and not when you strangle it. So inside the Profitpreneur membership, we actually have this community here to help you create systems, structure, and strategy so you can stop forcing it and start flowing in it. Okay, so go ahead, look in the description and start your 14-day free trial today, because you don't need to hold tighter. You just need to let go of the hose and let it flow. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you were here with us, and we'll see you back here again, same time, same channel.